My dear students, this is Unit 2 and Class 3. In previous classes, we have already discussed regarding the money market instruments. In the money market instruments, you may know about the one is call money market, another one is commercial bill market, another one is treasury bill market, another one is asset on houses. But apart from these, there are some other instruments are there. Maybe the commercial paper. Another one is certificate deposits. Another one is interbank participation certificate and repo instruments. There are other four innovative instruments which are related to the money market instruments. Uh, these are the new type of instruments which are to be important in this type of market. First one is the commercial paper. Commercial paper is also a one type of a money market instruments under the section 45W of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, and it is also called as a promissory note, and it is also called as an unsecured market instrument. And these type of instruments, the duration period is 7 days to 1 year. And these commercial papers also a one type of unsecured promissory note which is issued by the PDs, means primary dealers, and all India financial institutions. And these are to be really introduced in India in the 90s. And even if some of the financial institutions are meet their some of the guidelines as regards to the commercial paper issued in the market. But generally commercial paper is also a short period instrument. It is also related to 90 days to 364. It means 91 days, mean 90 days onwards, mean 91 days to 364 days onwards. This type of maturity period is concerned over the commercial paper. But the commercial paper should be issued with the purview of under the rating credit rating agencies. And as you already know, the credit rating agencies are called as a CRISIL, CARE, ICRA, Fitch. They are rated the securities, and such like the commercial paper also rated as per the SEBI guidelines. It is A3 should be rated. And if you talk about the example, the Aditya Birla Finance is the first NBFC firm which is under the purview of the stock exchange. This is one related to one concept related to commercial paper. My dear students, if you go through the some of the guidelines, you see there are some of the guidelines like as in 1989 the commercial paper introduced in the money market as instruments. And the NBFCs and non-banking financial companies and corporations, they are introduced such type of instruments. And in 90s they are formally introduced as already stated. In the 2001, June 30, 2001, FIMMDA, means Fixed Income Money Market and Derivative Association of India, has started the first guidelines as regards to the commercial paper. FIMMDA, Fixed Income Money Market and Derivative Association of India. There are operational guidelines first introduced by these association. In 2017, there are new directives is come up. Then in 2017 some revised guidelines have to be come up. And 2020 the operational guidelines is more effective from the April 1. This is the overall concept of a guidelines as regards to the commercial paper. My dear students, if you talk about as earlier stated, the what are the features of commercial paper? It is a short-term market, and it's also called as a negotiable market. It also called as a unsecured debt. It's also called as a there is a guarantee of fixed income in future, or it's also called as it is a liquidity cash or no asset in concern, means there is a guarantee of fixed amount can be received in near future. And the commercial paper also appointed a scheduled bank as a issuing and paying agent IIPA to raise the fund through commercial paper. Means the commercial banks and some of the NBFCs and some of the financial institutions has an important role to at the time of issuing and paying agent. Listen, issuing and paying agent to raise funds through the commercial paper. Means these are the through which means through banks and through for NBFCs the funds can be generated, and this can be at a generated through in discounting rate also, and interest is also bearing with the application, and it is also called as a certificate of unsecured debt. Unsecured debt, it says, but the evidence says interest is bearing with the application, means fixed amount should be paid to the particular buyer. This is the great feature of a commercial paper. If you talk about eligibility, as earlier stated, NBFC is All India Financial Institutions, and they are the eligible to issue. But eligibility in terms of finance, their worth should be 100 crore and subject to the condition of under section 3A of the above. It means 100 crore, those having the capital structure of 100 crore of trust, any cooperative society, any union, any government entity, and they can issue the commercial paper. If you talk about form means it is just like a promissory note, and it can nowadays it is can be convertible into dematerialized form. And the commercial paper should be minimum denomination should be 5 lakhs and multiple thereof. Means there will not be covered under 10 rupees or 20 rupees. It is minimum to be 5 lakhs, and it will multiple therein. And that is a I have previously said that it is a discounted value. Discounted value it can be issued, means the it can be underwritten on co-accepted also. And these are the some of the forms, means 5 lakhs and multiple thereof. And next one is the A3 is required, as already stated in a rating agency prescribed by the SEBI, as prescribed by the SEBI. And in the secondary market, there are trading and settlement also can be done. How it is settled? Now, one settlement is on financial market trading reporting and conference platform FTRAC, and clearing corporation dealing system of India, through which the within the 50 minutes the traded can be settled, and that settled can be T0 and or T1, means only one day. T0 or within a fraction means 15 minutes, or T1 means trading day 1, means one day is sufficient for the transaction as regards to the commercial paper. And there is also another some settlement through the some clearing corporation and stock exchanges are also a part and partial mechanism by the RBI. Generally, commercial papers are the generally two types. One is the secured commercial papers, another one is the unsecured commercial papers. Secured means one asset is backed or some mortgage is there, or there is called as a secured commercial paper. Unsecured commercial paper, there without any security, without any mortgage, without any backed by any asset, that is called as a unsecured commercial papers. But if you deeply if you go through the types of commercial paper, generally according to the uniform commercial code which is introduced, there are different other type of commercial papers are there. Drafts are maybe called as a commercial paper. Checks, uniform of checks, this is also a one form of a commercial paper. And note, one individual is promised to pay to another individual or a bank of a particular amount, that note is also a called as a commercial paper. Certificate deposits also a one confirm or one receipt or deposit of a commercial paper. Commercial paper means the paper which is used in commercial way, through draft, through check, or through note, or through certificate deposits. These are the basic type of commercial paper. But in general point of view, commercial paper may be secured or may be unsecured. But what are the advantages of commercial paper? As earlier said, within a one day or within 15 minutes or within 7 days to 1 year. It can be issued, and it can be high liquid or high return, means fixed income is generated, fixed interest or fixed principal amount can be generated. So that is called as a highly return, and it can be flexible. One can purchase this type of commercial paper, and it is a easier to long term capital. Why it is long term? Because minimum denomination is the 5 lakhs, and 5 lakhs and multiple 5 lakhs are to be used in this type of commercial paper. And it is very simple, reliable, and it is freely transferable, means through stock exchange it can also be transacted, and some transaction can be made through the some clearing corporations or FMIIDA, through which it can be easily transferable. And high liquidity means it is very convertible into cash. If we talk about some of the formula, that I have set right down in the slides. The price is equal to face value divided by 1 plus yield. Yield means the percentage of interest into number of days to maturity divided by 365. There is a one formula is there through which the commercial paper can be calculated or can be estimated with a discounted price. But the next topic is that is called as a certificate deposits. My dear students, money market instruments, first four components are there. One is call money market, commercial bill market, another treasury bill market, another one is acceptance houses. Emma, apart from four, another four important instruments are there. One is commercial paper, another one is this is further discussion, that is called as a certificate deposits. My dear students, certificate deposits generally issued in the year 1989, and certificate deposits means it's a one type of fixed deposits. Certificate deposits means one fixed deposit can be carried out with a fixed maturity period, fixed interest can be covered with this type of instrument, this type of investment, that is this type of fixed lock-in period. Lock-in period means and you cannot withdraw the particular amount, you cannot change the particular denomination. That type of deposit is called as a certificate deposits, and it is a now it is issued in a dematerialized form, means through it is can be electronical form, that is called as a dematerialized form against the funds deposited in a bank or a specified period. Means if you go to the bank and you can deposit certain amount with a fixed term, with a fixed rate of interest, fixed lock-in period, that type of deposit, that type of instruments is called as a certificate deposits. But here certificate deposits, somehow it's some important criteria is there. That criteria is minimum certificate deposit should be 1 lakh, and the minimum deposit may be a single subscriber, or it should not be less than 1 lakh, means 1 lakh and above, that called as a certificate deposit. But when you deposit at a bank, that type of short term certificate deposits are there, but here certificate deposit is minimum 1 lakh. And that is also one greater instrument which is introduced in the year of 1989. Commercial paper minimum denomination is 5 lakhs, but certificate deposit minimum denomination is 1 lakh. That is the basic difference. But here maturity period, in commercial paper maturity period is 7 days to 1 year, but in here certificate deposits, the maturity period is also less than 7 days, and not more than 1 year, means less than 7 days to 1 year, and it may be exceed to be 3 year. You see in the there a chart is which is put into the bank or any of the financial institution. You see there is a less than 7 days or 14 days, or maybe the 91 days to the up to the 364 days. For banks, you see minimum period is 7 days and maximum period is 1 day. And for the financial institution, minimum period is 1 year and maximum period is 3 year for their maturity of a certificate deposit. Very clearly it's stated. For the bank, 7 days to 1 year, and for financial institution 1 year to 3 year. Some if you say it's a called as a short term deposit, may be called as a short term deposits. My dear students, these type of as I have earlier said in the commercial paper, the FIMMDA one means Fixed Income Money Market and Derivative Association of India. With the consultation of RBI, they can they introduce some best practices, best documentary procedure, and these FIMMDA also guidelines issued regarding to the certificate deposit in the year 2002. But certificate deposit is also issued at a discount to face value, and it is determined by the market also. These are the means. Similarly, one association is also look after the commercial paper, and same association also look after the certificate deposit. That association name is Fixed Income Money Market and Derivatives Association of India, FIMMDA. Next, here advantages and disadvantages. As earlier said, advantages are it's a flexible term. Term means there is a period. The period is it is less than 7 days to 1 year. It's a flexible term, and if a financial institution 1 year to 3 year, it's a safety instruments, and it is a better return with higher than the savings account. Yes, in the savings account there is maybe the 5.5% or 4.5% rate of interest will be accumulated, but here certificate deposits the rate of interest is high, and wide selection criteria fixed, and it is a predictable income will be high in the certificate deposits. If you talk about disadvantage, there is a limited liquidity, means there is some lock-in period is there, and it's related to inflation risk. Inflation risk means the according to the nature of the market, when the market is means have a good in condition, then the maybe the rate of interest is also fixed, but it's getting the less risk is associated with these type of certificate deposits. If the market is down, or if market is very much not flexible one, and it's have one pressure on the market, then that's called as a inflation risk is associated in the certificates deposits. And another component of, or another instrument of money market is called as a interbank participation certificate, IBPC. Interbank participation certificate is also an important part of a money market instruments. My dear students, in previously there are four parts are there: call money, commercial bill, treasury bill, another one is acceptance houses, and in second part there is another instrument. Innovative instruments are, one is commercial paper, another one is the certificate deposits, and this is the third instruments as regards to the particular money market instruments, that is called as a interbank participation certificate. My dear students, interbank participation certificate generally it is introduced with the under the guidance of the working group of N Bhogul committee. N Bhogul has really introduced this type of particular certificate by the scheduled banks to the another bank against existing standard loan assets. Means interbank participation means there is a participation relating to the one bank to another bank with existing loan assets. But here it's the raising issue should be not exceeding 40%, means outstanding advance at the time of issue, and if such certificate is issued without sharing of risk, and the period is 91 days and not exceeding 91 days, it and means if it is risk participation, such certificate may be 91 to 180 days. It means here the bad loans and the standard loans assets are associated with the interbank participation certificate. It is less than 90 days. But what are the features? It is not transferable. and it does not exist in the secondary market. Only bank can issue to the allowed to issue the through IBPCC, and both banks and other banks have decided their interest rates, and such type of issued is with consultation with rate of interest is consultation with the concerned parties, and there is a one agreement between issuing bank, another one is participating bank. My dear students, IBPC is totally related to the bank to bank, means it is a instrument through which loan assets can be managed through IBPC. And if you talk about IBPC, and that is called as a maybe two types of IBPC are there. One is a risk sharing basis, another one is the without risk sharing basis. Risk sharing means risk is associated, another one is a risk is not associated, that is called as a interbank participation certificate types. First of all, risk. Risk means there is some sorts of problems is associated, but in generally, reserve regional rural banks can issue the IBPC of a tenure of 180 days and risk sharing basis to the scheduled commercial banks against their private sector advances. It means my point is, when a bank gives loans to the priority sector or small scale industries or MSME sector, under this way, some of the advances are to be converted into loan assets or converted into bad debts. That type of management is associated through the IBPC, and that tenure basis is 180 days. And there are some broader way of types of interbank participation, but in before I have in previous slides I have stated that is one is risk sharing and also not without risk sharing. Here we can cover the in a broader way in risk sharing 91 days to 180 days, and the rate of participation, the interest is 14%, but without risk, that is within the less than 90 days, and the two concerned banks is subject to ceiling 12.5%, means where there is risk 14% rate of interest is applicable, where there is not risk, that is 12.5% rate of interest is applicable, where there is risk, there is 91 to 180 days is applicable for their participation period. Another year, the where there is without risk, that is less than 90 days participation period is applicable. But my dear students, uh, these are the overall concept of the risk sharing and risk without risk sharing of interbank participation certificate. My dear students, one still we have one completed, that is called as a commercial paper, another one is a certificate deposits, and third one is the interbank participation certificate, and here this is the last one, that is called as a repo instruments. But before go through the repo, and before go through the repo, first of all, what is the full form of repo? Repo means repurchase options or repurchase instruments, and it is a one instrument contract between banks provide eligible securities such as treasury bills and RBI overnight loans. It means, I have stated, it is called as a repo loans, it is called as it is also a short term funds, and means repo instruments or repo rate, these are the some of the similar meanings are there. Repo rate means if a bank needs money for a short span of time, it can contact to RBI for the lending. That type of rate through which the funds are to be transferred by the RBI to bank or bank's requirement fulfillment, that is called as a repo rate. Means in which rate the bank required fund with a particular rate of interest is associated, that is called as a repo rate or repo instruments. That is also called as a repurchase agreements. It is a repurchase agreements or repurchase loans or repayment loans, or it is a short term funds or repurchasing options. These type of options which is available to maintain the, why it is required to maintain the CRR and SLR ratio on daily basis. CRR means cash reserve ratio, SLR means statutory liquidity ratio. Repo rate means if a bank one needs some money for a short span period of time, the RBI has some fix some rate of interest and some provide some funds, in which rate it is provided the funds, that is called as a repo rate. Means the banks require some money from RBI, that is called as a repo rate. But before go through the repo, you have some confusion should be mind, that is one is SLR, another one is CRR, another one is repo, another one is reverse repo. My dear students, there are four parts are there. One is SLR. Some terminology are to be confusion in our mind. That is one is SLR, another one is CRR, another one is repo, another one is reverse repo. The first of all, here you see SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, CRR, cash reserve ratio, repo, repurchase options or repurchase agreements or short-term loans, reverse repo, reverse back of repurchase options, repurchase loans. These are the four terms which are important for the in the particular money market instruments. What are these? First of all, SLR. SLR means the amount of money that is invested in a certain specified securities, prominently central bank or state government securities. SLR means statutory liquidity, means the amount of money which is invested in the government securities or either invested in the central bank, that is totally called as a SLR. But CRR means the percentage of total bank deposit has kept in the particular with the RBI, means some percentage of the bank deposits should be kept with the RBI, that is called as a cash reserve ratio. Cash reserves can be kept with a safe aside, with a safe custody with the RBI, that called as a CRR. Means some amount of deposits, some amount of finance or some amount of funds should be deposit with the RBI, that is called as a CRR, cash reserve ratio. And SLR means some amount of money which is invest in a some in a particular central government or state government securities, or total bank deposits may be called as a, that is called as a SLR, statutory liquidity. Means liquidity can be maintained, high liquidity can be maintained. Now the banks has to deposit in certain securities. But CRR, certain percentage of the bank deposits or certain percentage of the funds should be kept safe aside with the RBI, that is called as a CRR. Another is repo rate, in which rate the bank borrows from RBI, as already stated, that may be 7 days to 14 days, so that it is called as a money market. The repo rate always called as a money market because it is a duration period is 7 days to 14 days. It is a short term and it is a short term money. Also higher repo rate means short term money is high, lower repo rate means the cost of short term money rate is also low. This type of magnitude is applicable to the repo rate. But what is reverse repo rate? Just back, just reverse of the repo rate. Repo rate means the rate at which bank borrows from RBI. Reverse repo rate means the RBI takes some loans or takes some borrowings from the commercial banks, that is called as a reverse repo rate, and it is used for the monetary policy. that is called as a reverse repo rate. But my dear student, these type of repo rates are generally the four parts. One is a buy sell repo, classic repo, bond lending borrowing, and tripartite repo. My dear students, if you talk about repo rate means the concept should be clear about the SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, CRR, cash reserve ratio. Another one is repo rate. Another one is the reverse repo rate. That is the four terms are there. But here types of repo rate means buy and sell repo, classic repo, bond lending and borrowing repo, and tripartite repo. One by one we have to discuss. First one, these are the similarly these are the flexible one. This is the one day it can be managed, or one day it can be liquidated, one day it can be maturity period is there, that is also called as a, this is the underlying of securities are there, that is called as a repo and its types. But here buy and sell repo, buy and sell repo means the lender actually takes possession with the collateral, means some one asset is there, one mortgage is there, on settlement later date is there, and the security is sold outright and bought back simultaneously, that can be called as a within a purview, within a coupon rate of interest, that is called as a buy and sell repo. If you talk about classic repo means it is a initial sale of securities with the simultaneously agreement with the repurchase with them later date, means in a previous date, or it may be another separate payment of interest is made, that is called as a classic repo. Means the only collateral, the loan of the cash can be associated, but interest can be separately paid, that is called a classic repo. But a bond and lending and borrowing transaction type of repo is called as a, means the customer lends bond or in the open ended or fixed period or return for free, means some bonds are to be lending and borrowing with a certain type of instrument is associated, term size loans, and that type of credit rating counterparty are called as a bond lending and borrowing transaction. And there may be a provided some of the collateral securities there, that is called as a bond lending and borrowing transaction repo or transactions or instruments. Next last one is a tripartite repo. Tripartite repo under it is a one type of tripartite means that is a some agreement is there, there is some system is there, means common custodian clearing agency can arranging the clearing and settlement of the transaction, means agency means some system or some policy is there, some method is there through which the through which it can that method is called as a DVP system, through which it can automatically make in the market with the transacting the type of repo, that is called as a tripartite repo. Mean the system starts with the agreement by the all party agreement with including the global master repurchase or tripartite of repo service agreement. These are through which it can minimize the risk and it is can be with dealing with the low credit rating. This is called as a tripartite repo. But my dear students, this the overall class as regards to new innovative instruments of the money market. But my dear students, money market is a short-term market. Money market is a highly liquid market. Money market is a one type of market through which the funds can be generated quickly. One is call money market, another is commercial bill market, another one is treasury bill market, another one is the acceptance houses and some other instruments. One is commercial paper, another one is certificate deposits, another one is IBPC interbank credit transactions, and another next one is the that is called as a repo. If you talk about repo, there are different types of repos are there, but repo means the concept should be clear about what is SLR, what is CRR, what is repo rate, what is reverse repo rate. These are the overall concept of the money market and its component. But even if this money market transaction arises through DFHI role is a DFHI role is also important. And some of the positive points as regards to money markets are there, some of the drawbacks as relates to the money markets are there, and some of the maybe called as some of the new developments of money markets are there, which are to be discussed in later classes. And thank you.